few years ago now. I was 16 at the time. I was in my bedroom talking to a few friends, and I heard a knock on the door. I heard my stepdad go down and answer it, but from then I heard that it was a few police officers asking for me. I didn't know at the time why they were asking for me, but they came up to my room and they came in, no knocking, nothing like that, and said they had a warrant to search my premises. At the time I was worried because they didn't tell me why they were there, they didn't show me the warrant, we didn't ask to see the warrant, but we did grant them permission to go through my belongings, go through my room, because we didn't want to cause any trouble for them. But it was a worrying moment for me because at the time I had no idea what I had done wrong, and I was never once told in that time. After the search was done, they told me that I needed to come down to the police station with them. Their inspector needed to talk to me and ask me a few questions. After I arrived, we were checked in at the front desk and then taken upstairs. During this time, my mum was asking what I had done wrong, why I was needed there, and who was going to be in the police room with me, the interrogation room with me. We were repeatedly told in that time that they couldn't tell me the circumstances of my arrest. They couldn't tell me why I was there, but my mum would not be allowed in with me. It made me worried because I didn't want to be in there on my own. I didn't want. I don't know. I guess it's just a very scary moment, intimidating more than anything, and I didn't want to be alone. But I was being forced to be alone. The interviewing officer was sat opposite me. He sat behind his desk, and then I had two officers present that stood to the left of me. I was sat down, so they seemed to be quite intimidating because they were a lot taller than me. They stood with their arms crossed, kind of looking down at me to make me feel quite small. Before they started questioning me, the inspecting officer read me what seemed to be a version of my rights. For the life of me, I couldn't understand them really. I mean, I agreed to them, but because of the situation that I was in, I didn't have time to kind of process them. They asked for my mum to be in with me, but they said she couldn't come in. I asked why not. They just kept on saying she's not allowed in, she's not allowed in. For the time that I was before this, I didn't think to ask for a lawyer because I couldn't conceive of a possible situation where I'd need one. I didn't think this would go any further than this room. So I just wanted to kind of get it done and over as quick as possible. But the only thing that I wanted was my mum or someone that I knew to be in there with me, just to make me feel safe and make me feel a little bit calmer. The officer, when he was interviewing, seemed quite harsh towards me. He went from being composed to mocking to aggressive to mocking to all of this, and he kept on changing his personality, but more often than not he was mocking me. He was mocking the way that I spoke, he was mocking my English language, he was mocking me for being a child. It made me feel intimidated and repressed to tell him anything because he quite obviously didn't believe anything that I was saying, and anything that I did try and say to him, it felt like a lie because he was making me feel like a liar. So yeah, I just couldn't get the words out to him because he was making me feel anxious. The whole interview took 5 hours, from the moment I was escorted out of my house at 9:30 at night till when I left the police station at 2:30 in the morning. During this time I was not once offered a glass of water. It was a warm night, however I was offered hot drinks, which I declined because it was a hot night. However, when I left the room at 2:30 in the morning, I was tired, I was emotionally drained, I was physically drained. I'd gone through this whole process, and in this 5-hour period I'd changed. I'd gone from being this 16-year-old boy to something that I was not, and I felt very different. But I did see my mum when I came out. She had waited for me for the whole 5 hours, and that was the biggest relief for me, just to finally see a friendly face, someone that wasn't accusing me of something. Okay. When I was on bail, I missed a few family occasions. I missed my granddad's 80th birthday, which happened a month after I was arrested. Then, a few months after that, I missed my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary. These were two major life events that I really wish I'd been a part of, but I couldn't have been.